McDonald's is famous, but In-N-Out is interesting. Coca-Cola is famous, but Red Bull is interesting. The famous brand is better known, but you would never say they were interesting or really worth your attention because most of the world's biggest brands are pretty boring. People know them, but they aren't interested in them. Most brands and people would rather be liked than be memorable. I know, because they've hired me to help pinpoint what's wrong with their brand. They want to be liked because being likable feels safe, but the algorithm rewards being interesting, as in attention rewards being interesting. And while no brand or individual is born interesting, it's actually free to become interesting. And it is the closest thing to an unfair advantage you can get. So here are the 5 secrets I've used with huge and new brands alike to become magnetic, interesting, and unforgettable. The first secret is to create the gap. And this is exactly what Duolingo did to stand out against the leading competitor, Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone was the dominant language learning company for years, and it was really the only one available. Then Babbel came along. Now, neither Rosetta Stone nor Babbel was doing anything wrong. They just were not interesting. And then came Duolingo. They took their cute little owl mascot and turned it into this feral, menacing thing that guilt trips you for skipping a lesson. They created a gap between what people expect and what they get. People expect a serious study app. They get an owl with unnecessary attitude. And now when someone mentions a language learning app, which one do you think of? Duolingo. And you'd really struggle to name a competitor. Now there is a name for why this works. The von Restorff effect. In a row of similar things, the one that breaks the pattern is the one you remember. Marketers call this idea the purple cow, from Seth Godin. Now here's the trap companies fall into when they're trying to be the next Duolingo. They create a gap, and they just grab any random difference like a free-for-all. It's like the guy who wears a fedora constantly and makes that his whole personality, but that's just a stunt. People notice it for a second, but then they file it away. And if you're really obnoxious about it, you can end up kind of annoying everyone. But when this is done right, it looks different. A billionaire who dresses like a mechanic is interesting. Warren Buffett living in the same small house for 50 years is interesting. Compare that to Mark Zuckerberg, who buys a yacht to follow his bigger yacht. That's a classic billionaire move, and it's kind of boring. We might envy the yacht, but we're not interested in the billionaire for behaving like a billionaire. So here's how to create the gap for your brand or business. Grab a piece of paper right now, create a 2-column table. Side 1, write down what people expect from your industry. That is the default that everyone copies. Side 2, write the opposite. So for example, you are a new private banking brand. Everyone expects stuffy and dull. So the opposite could be laid back and funny. Everyone expects that you will sponsor golf tournaments, so you sponsor street hockey tournaments. And if you want to go deeper on this, we advise challenger brands on this stuff. I dropped a link in the description for you to book a call. Now, secret number 2 is to make the gap matter, because once you have caught someone's interest, you have got to keep earning it. OneSkin is a skincare company that is blowing up on social media. It was started by 4 scientists, all women with PhDs in fields like stem cell biology and tissue engineering. Incredibly smart people. Expect it. Here's what's interesting. Instead of filling their reels and copy with scientific jargon, as in doing what's expected of elite skincare brands, they simplify the science and talk like a warm, people-friendly beauty brand. They say, collagen in your skin is like gluten in bread. It's very natural and human. People expect science intimidation. OneSkin offers everyday beauty. Interesting. And that gap matters because it helps them carve a space that they can actually own in the market. Their unique mechanism is their founding team, those 4 PhDs and the genius they bring to the brand. Compare that to Kylie Cosmetics, also a beauty brand, also with the founder as the unique mechanism and much more famous than OneSkin. But Kylie Cosmetics only blew up online because of the founder's existing celebrity, with no true substance behind that person as the founder of a beauty brand. It grabbed our attention, but did not continue to earn it. Now here is a tricky one. Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. At first we were interested because this huge celebrity had effectively a blog on skincare. And then came the bee sting facials, the coffee enema, out there kind of stuff that people love to roll their eyes at, but that we cannot help paying attention too. She grabbed our attention and she continues to earn it. Every out there move that Gwyneth Paltrow as the face of Goop makes, every weird candle they come out with is intentionally the opposite of what you'd expect from her, and meaningfully so. The effect of being intentionally interesting has been the foundation of Goop becoming a $400 million brand. Now, research shows that people are attracted to the most new, surprising thing they can still relate to. Raymond Loewy called it Maya, which stands for most advanced yet acceptable. Push too far, people reject it. So you want to pique curiosity but still be relatable. This is the difference between a gap people stare at and a gap people choose. Blue hair is a meaningless gap. It's just noise. If you're a founder and you're like, I'm the one with the blue hair, it doesn't make you interesting. It makes you visible for a second. Different gets the stare. Differentiated gets the sale. Seth Godin's concept of being a purple cow in a sea of brown and white cows tells you to stand out. I will add that you need to stand out for a reason, to avoid being forgotten in a week. So, if in the last step you found the gap, the unexpected opposite of the industry norm, now let's pressure test that gap. Take the item from the opposite column and try to finish these two sentences. I'm different because blank, so I'm different because I'm laid back. And that matters to my people because they are blank, millennials who don't wear suits. If you can't fill in the second one, get rid of it. It's attention grabbing, but not earned interest. Now, this is the part nobody warns you about. Every gap can close. The second the world catches up to your surprise, the tension dies. Liquid death felt wild when it landed. Now, water in an energy drink can is becoming just a thing. So the rest of this video answers the critical question to last as an interesting brand. How do you keep the gap open? There are 3 ways that can make being interesting last forever. This brings us to secret number 3, which is to keep the audience guessing. If you were thinking about Apple, then you're on the right track. Apple is the perfect example of a brand that keeps fans fascinated and competitors waiting on the edge of their seats decade after decade. Their annual keynote has turned into a machine that runs on one question. What have they created this time? And Apple guards this like $1 billion secret because anticipation is the whole point. When a keynote flops, the stock drops. People watch a product launch like a season finale. Taylor Swift does the same thing. She uses Easter eggs, surprise drops, and hints buried in every song, interview, outfit, or interaction with the world. Every clue is a reason to keep watching her. Just open any subreddit dedicated to her and see the deep analysis her fans do of her every move. That's how you become much more than just rich and famous. And it's how you stay that way. The reason this works is called the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains can't let go of things that feel unfinished. In copywriting, we call these open loops. It's why people Google, what is Taylor Swift doing right now? As if there's an answer. There isn't. She's just out there living, but you've been trained to wonder and want the next bit. Now, most brands get this dead wrong. They confuse real anticipation with plain old noise. So they post 15 times a day, chase every trend, and never shut up. They think, isn't that what Taylor does? It is not. Anticipation needs space to breathe, needs a little silence. That's how you keep the wonder alive. Notice that the celebrities who do this well, Hailey Bieber, are not posting all day. When they do share, it's a hint, and you've been waiting long enough to be hungry for it. So stop revealing everything all the time. Hold a little back. Build open loops on purpose. End on a question, a hint, a next time. And don't fake it. Empty teasing is like making blue hair or a funny hat your thing. The 4th secret is don't be summarizable like Coca-Cola, be hard to nail down like Red Bull. Red Bull is an energy drink, but it's also a media company, an F1 team, a cliff diving league, and the company that sent a man skydiving from space. It is hard to say what business they're in. And that's exactly why Red Bull stays interesting. Even the line, Red Bull gives you wings, is interesting. It opens a curiosity gap that is truly difficult to close. That tagline has become the brand's through line. If what they do is summarizable at all, it's under the umbrella of whatever they do, it's got wings. And it's the same with people. Donald Glover is an actor, a rapper, a writer, a director. He'll write for SNL and then drop This Is America. I mean, how do you sum that up? Selena Gomez is a pop star, an actress, a billionaire, beauty founder, and a mental health advocate. She is an open perfectionist who, interestingly, keeps letting herself down in public. The more you look, the more there is, and you believe there's even more underneath. And anyone who thinks this is accidental does not know how much teams of smart marketers and publicists are paid to keep celebrities and brands interesting on an ongoing basis. Not an accident. The science here is called the pratfall effect. So, a small human stumble makes a skilled person more likable, not less. Perfect reads as distant and disconnected, but a stumble is the door that lets people in and makes it kind of fascinating. These are two common mistakes that brands make. One, trying to be one clean thing, mistaking your positioning or value proposition for a container you have to exist in. Mistake two is sanding off your flaws to look and sound perfect because you think perfect is best. Selena Gomez is at her most interesting when she is showing the world her flaws. This is why over-polished founder brands fall flat. Tailored suit, on stage, saying all the right things is deadly boring. We don't need to see you win at everything. The founders people love are the ones who show the messy parts. Andrew Wilkinson is a billionaire who's talked openly about not wanting his wife to leave, and a year later about his divorce and feeling like he let his kids down, all while dominating the tech world. That contradiction is what makes him interesting. That he shares it all in his newsletter is a reason to read every time it hits your inbox. So, to be unsummarizable and flawed, make a list of the things that you or your brand do that don't fit your brand or the category, the contradictions, the side quests, the mistakes you made, the mistake you're making in real time right now. Pick one and just show it off on purpose. Test it in a trial reel. Talk about it at the next networking event or the next time you find yourself waiting for your Uber and talking to a stranger. If it lands, show another. You're not adding flaws to look broken, you're adding layers so people never quite finish reading you. The fifth secret is one of my favorite ways for brands to be interesting. You have to have the courage to make enemies like Patagonia. Companies like J.Crew spend millions of dollars during Black Friday telling you to buy their new barn jacket. In comparison, Patagonia ran a Black Friday ad that said, "Don't buy this jacket." It makes no sense on a spreadsheet, and the negative attention from it was all over the place. But that's the point. That's marketing, after all. As a brand, Patagonia knew that believing in something was more important than being liked by everyone. This made them courageous, it made them memorable. It also made them nearly 40% more revenue that Black Friday, all because they anchored to a common enemy of their fan base, consumerism, and that is interesting. People talked about it, people shared it whether they agreed with it or not. What's interesting is rarely universally liked. In fact, if you're worried about being liked by everyone, you are not going to be interesting. Marketers call this the Marmite effect. Brands you love or hate get talked about far more than brands everyone mildly likes. If you're a Jane Austen fan, this is Willoughby versus Colonel Brandon. One is divisive, the other is liked but rarely remembered. That's why your friend who works in PR will often say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Or why Cardi B has openly embraced her haters, saying that in order to hate her song, they had to listen to it first. Great brands attract and repel intentionally based on their deep brand values, their convictions. Conviction is what keeps the interest gap open forever because it's real. It's rooted in who you are, so the world can never fully catch up to it like you do. Every time the culture shifts, your refusal to shift with it creates fresh tension all over again. Entrepreneur Aaron Levy turned down $600 million for Box in his 20s. Everyone told him to take it. He didn't. Box is now worth around $4 billion. Zach Yadagari is 18. He got rejected by every Ivy League school, even with a near perfect record, and went on to build an app worth $30 million. Both founders refused the thing you're supposed to want. That courage to go their own way is what makes them interesting. This is what great personal brands are built on. You don't just attract, you also consciously repel. If you're at a point in your career where you're thinking seriously about building your personal brand, or you've been trying to build it and it's not taking off, it may be time to check out our elite coaching program. There's a link in the description. Click it and see if you're right for our next cohort. Now, this is the ultimate test of whether you're interesting or not. If you cannot state who or what you repel, you're probably likable, but not interesting, which means your customers may forget you, churn, and choose the more interesting brand in your space. So find the thing you'd actually risk your reputation for. The poor design that makes you furious. Apple is uncompromising on design. The controlled doctors have wielded over individual health. Vital's Vault is taking that on head first. If you and your followers share the same convictions, you can become not just interesting, but powerful by saying it out loud. on repeat. If this clicked for you, go watch my video on having too many interests and struggling to find what to do next in your life or your career. And ping us if your brand wants to win by being strategically interesting.